A very good evening to each and everyone present here. We feel honored to have with us the Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Om Prakash Tripathi, Head of Department Environmental Science, Mizoram University, distinguished faculties from different university and colleges, members of SEED, and lastly, all the esteemed participants. Today, 22nd April, SEED, Society for Environmental Education and Development, Manipur, is celebrating Earth Day. Every year, April 22 is observed as the Earth Day to show support and draw people's attention on environmental protection. I, Biteshwari Khangembam, executive member of SEED, feel privileged to welcome you all on behalf of SEED. I welcome you all graciously on this occasion. I welcome our chief guest, Professor Om Prakash Tripathi, HOD Environmental Science, Mizoram University. We are grateful for your kind gesture to be present here and given your consent to preside over today's webinar. Sir, we are eagerly waiting to hear your speech. I welcome all the participants present here. I also welcome Professor Asa Gupta, President of today's function and convener of SEED. May I now request Madam Mrinamai Arke to highlight about today's webinar. Over to Madam Mrinamai.
Thank you, Dr. Biteshwari, for giving me this opportunity. Good evening, respected chief guests of today's webinar, the speaker, respected faculty members, scientists, and students. Today, Manipur SEED is celebrating Earth Day on visual platform online. Earth Day is a historical event that takes place every year on 22nd April. Earth Day is a special occasion that reminds us of the importance of taking care of our planet Earth, the only home for us. On this day, people around the world come together to celebrate our beautiful planet Earth and renew our commitment to protecting it for future generations. The annual celebration is an opportunity to raise awareness and advocate for change around the issues most impacting our planet and to celebrate the beauty of Mother Earth. The first Earth Day was observed on 22nd April 1970 and carried out by United States Senator Gallot Nelson along with a young activist, Dennis Hayes. He was motivated to initiate the event when he witnessed the harm of oil spill in Santa Barbara, California in 1969 and realized the need for an awareness day to enlighten the people about the importance of environmental protection. 20 million Americans took to streets, college campuses on 22nd April 1970 to protest environmental ignorance. It was a historical event and an unified response to an environment in crisis. In 1990, Earth Day was globally recognized as 20 crore people from 141 nations joined in the forces to promote recycling around the globe. In 2010, Earth Day organization made Earth Day a crucial moment for people all over the world to take action for the environment. Earth Day is now recognized as the most widely observed secular observance in the world, observing in more than 193 countries. The goal of Earth Day is to remind humankind to protect and preserve the Earth and its species for the benefit of future generations. Today's Earth Day celebration 2023 will mark the 53 years of celebration. The theme for Earth Day 2023 is Invest in Our Planet. It highlights the crucial role of investment of our time, resource, energy in driving positive change and addressing the current environmental challenges that we face today. The team calls on all individuals, communities, governments, private sector and alike to prioritize and take actions towards protecting and preserving our planet Earth, everyone accounted for and everyone accountable. Investing in a green economy is the only path to a healthy, prosperous, and equitable future. Human influence is unequivocally to blame for the warming of the planet. And the sad truth is, some forms of climate disruption will be felt for centuries to come. However, we must collectively push away from the dirty fossil fuel economy and all technologies of centuries past and redirect attention to creating 21st century economy that restores the health of our planet, protect our species and provides opportunities for all. According to Earth Day organization, which coordinates Earth Day events globally, the theme for 2023 Earth Day calls on humanity to build healthier economy while also making sure towards a more equitable future for everyone. For this to happen, business, inventors, investors, and financial markets should lead the way by encouraging green innovation and practices. The private sector holds incredible power that can be wielded to bring about significant large-scale changes. Governments also do their part by providing incentives to encourage citizens, business, and other institutions to work towards this framework of an equitable and sustainable global system. Climate change mitigation, restoration, and adaptation require the collective will and voice of the people to make the change the planet needs. Let us remind ourselves more than ever that we need to shift towards a more sustainable economy that works for both people and the planet. Today, on this day of Earth Day, we come together to this platform to show solidarity to save the planet Earth. Today, let us make a pledge to do our part in protecting it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for your nice deliberation. I now request Dr. Ranita Ningthokongzam, Executive Member of SEED, to introduce our renowned speaker to the participants. Over to Dr. Ranita.
Thank you, Dr. Biteshwari. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to give a brief data about our resource person, Om Prakash Tripathi, for today's webinar on Earth Day. Professor Om Prakash Tripathi is presently the head of Department of Environmental Science, Mizoram University. Sir is dedicated on teaching and research work. He had research experience for about 23 years, including 4 years postdoctoral research. His number of citation is 1,893, ICE index is 22, I-10 index is 42, and RG score is 25.88. He had conducted various workshops about IPR, joint forest management, biodiversity, climate change adaptation, and mitigation in Arunachal Pradesh. Besides research work, he had teaching experience for 17 years, and his area of specialization includes forest ecology and biodiversity conservation, remote sensing and GIS application, carbon sequestration, and climate change. He had completed international assignment for the course Integrated Land Use Management System in Natural Resource Management Division. He got a fellowship as research associate and young scientist funded by different agencies. Also completed professional training about remote sensing and natural resource management from Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Dehradun. Further, Sar had completed 15 major research projects funded by different agencies and had supervised 10 PhD students. He has nearly 106 research publications, where 87 in referred journal and 19 in books and proceedings. He has attended around 38 conferences and symposiums at various organizations and presented his lectures. He was also the in charge as chairman for various committees and programs for various institutes, and also a member at various institutes in Northeast states in relation with forest work and a subject expert in a selection committee. And lastly, he has also attended research project proposal and review meetings at DST, CSIR, NEHU, MU, etc. So this is all about Professor O.P. Tripathi, and will present talk on Earth Day. Sir, please take your time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. First of all, though, I am very much thankful to the SEED, Society for Developmental Education and Development Manipur, for giving me this opportunity to share my some of the work on and some of general literature on this very important day, the Earth Day. I am very much thankful to my teacher, Professor Asa Gupta ma'am, and ma'am's team members. Sir is here, one Professor Tiwari sir, then like I was feeling bit awkward that chief guest. So I'm just a speaker. So I will just share my presentation, which I have broadly made a brief on the potential maybe global to local, particularly in Northeast India, and I will talk something on water potential problems, plant more, soil and some climate issue in Northeast India. As I have been assigned that I will be talking to land use, basically we are keep on working in collaborative works at the regional level on mapping, particularly on Brahmaputra River Basin. Then we map the carbon, and then later on again by the ISRO on the sequestration potential, and then further on the carbon and the diversity. So I thought that I will just take up some talk on this with some basic literature. Rather than going on the Earth Day, we know that this time theme, which had been reflected in the flyer, also invest in our planet, which had been further said that we should talk investment towards renewable and energy efficiency, clean transportation, agriculture innovations, nature-based solutions, indigenous communities, women empowerment, and the peace. And then before like going to the land use and all, as we know that we are the part of the system, and each of the components are interconnected, and if anything is going to be disturbed, the next hierarchy of the trophic labels will be automatically disturbed. Thereby we must take care that any removal or altering or damaging the system can be minimized so that all the trophic labels can survive. Just a brief on many part of the Northeast India, we are facing the water problem. Although the Jal Shakti mission of the government of India, they are keep on working, as well as we are blessed that we are falling in such an area where we have a very high intensity as well as periodicity of the rainfall both. But in spite of that also, due to undulating topography, Many area we are unable to get the water even for the drinking purposes. We can take the example of Cherrapunji and all during the winter, or where I am, like we have been like warned by the university authority that we should use the water in a judicious manner. uh, in spite what I said in the beginning, that we have the intensity also high as well as the periodicity of the precipitation also very high. This could be associated with either the, like I was saying, that there could be topography, or may we are not managing in a well our population. Like very recently I heard a news that by June it is predicted that India will be the uh, first in population in the globe. We will cross the China by certain lakhs. Pollution, we know a lot of problems are there, and then the climate change, because somewhere I will talk some of the temperature and precipitation data had been worked by Professor Jhajaria and his team at Jan in Northeast India, which reflects that is still in the Northeast region also there is evidences that there is a increase in the temperature, and many literatures are available. Even we have also worked on the certain area in timberline shift in the Space Application Center Ahmedabad programs. We have recorded the timberline shift in the eastern Himalayan, particularly in Arunachal Pradesh and all. And even the apple gardens from the part of the Arunachal had been shifting from the area where it was growing, maybe because of the conducive environment. But now they have been like not fruiting at all, and then slowly and slowly they are moving upwards. The plantations are shifting, and then there are the certain conflicts also, maybe because of that. Like we can recall last year, the river of the Xiang river, Xiang river, yeah, in Arunachal Pradesh, the water became brown, and ultimately many aquatic lives and all had lost their life. The diversity and density of both the life because of the conflicts, whatever could be, and finally it had been visualized that it is due to the dam construction in China. So whatever could be, so there may be the national to international conflict, or due to our development in the lifestyle, there is a more demand of the water. So this has resulted like in the global ways also. Then if we will look off, like we are worried for the water, literature is talking about that the most of the waters are in oceans. We have only 2.5% fresh water stock. Of that also 30% in groundwater, and then 70% about in the glaciers, which still they are melting due to rise in temperature, and that's why there are the like rise in sea level also, although various models has predicted, but now there we are not getting that abrupt increase in the ocean's level, particularly because if we will see in the recent decades, globally people they are working, the scientific community, on the climate aspects, and thereby we are in position to maintain the, let's say, the, if not rising, is trying to stabilize if we cannot minimize, and thereby the policy makers and all, they must look off on the storage, uh, like effective policies. Although as I said that the Jal Shakti missions are there, there are the like certain uh, history or case studies which they are saying that the, particularly in Bihar and all, like in Ganga river they are putting the treatment plants, and from there they are supplying, they are calling multi-village some program MBPs, and they are supplying the, so that's why we can go with the effective water policies, planning and preparation of water budget, and harvesting, we can minimize the seepage. Vice versa, like we have to remove all form of pollutants. We can maintain our wetlands, because you will find that the many wetlands, they are dying, and a lot of activities by the Ministry of Environment and Forest, climate change, they are keep on trying to revive or rejuvenate the, particularly even the wetlands. Even we are also working on certain wetlands. Uh, there also we worked in Arunachal, and here also recently we have started some activities how we can. Otherwise, they will be uh, dying, and because of that, the lateral recharge of whatever is the aquatic life, they are automatically affected as of now. But if we will look of the future prospects of it, then the lateral recharge of the moisture in the agricultural field or the riverine vegetation are going to be negatively impacted in future prospects. Thereby, there may be the collapse of the ecosystems. Then drilling process, roof-mounted tank, and then grey water for toilet flushing. They are saying nowadays we can go for the reuse of the water. So this is something which is, we all know there are the water scarcity, water problem. My intention here was only to bring the scientific communities awareness कि in spite we are receiving more, but we have many area, even we are witnessing that in most part of the Northeast India, we are not able to grow the crop during the winter season. That is because of the low soil moisture. And although the government has taken initiative in what they call it integrated watershed management program, IWMP and all, they are keep on trying that the not only reviving the dead or died wetlands, ponds or the uh, even the springs, they are also trying to establish some artificial ponds and all in most part of the area in the various activities and all. The intention is to only maximize the soil moisture and conserve the diversity. This all we know we are very rich globally in the plant and in a bioresource in particular. Lot many reported, many to be reported. We all know that the diversity increases from tropic to the, sorry, decreases from pole to equator, and low altitude it increases towards higher altitude and then further declines as we move on the alpine to or the temperate forest and all. Terrestrial community, basically we know that the greater diversity as compared to the aquatic and all. So this literature to we know, but in spite this much of wealth we have, the various problems like global changes, particularly the either land use conversion or failing, or the habitat loss, or major problem like here also there is a problem of mycenia, eupatorium, lantana. In my place, if I will look up a lot of problems by the parthenium is going on, the invasive species and agricultural crops are badly damaged. Here also the regenerations are widely impacted because of the invasive species, particularly in the degraded ecosystem, to severely impacted. We know that as the pressure enhances, the threat possibilities are there, and this will be too broader at ecosystem level, and ultimately the well-being of the all dependent who are lying on these. Bringing an end to global biodiversity loss require the limited available resources to be guided, local to the region to the global ways. We can combine the unsustainable consumption in the developed country. We will look up we have received the very good results soon after the like 92, the CBD, the conservation of biological diversity has not come up with the in conservation aspects so positive. But if we will look up the equitable sharing of the benefit and the concepts of the sustainable utilization, so this has resulted the like public in general also to feel the responsibility, and that has resulted कि lot many species are being restored, or their minimum viable populations are being restored. And then as now coming to the northeast scenario, as we all know, there are 4 biodiversity hotspots in India, to be lie in one. This is because of either we can go in the formation of the nation uh, in the past, or our location, as we are closely bordered by the international boundaries, state boundaries, and then the physiography, all has resulted in a blazed, and so we are listed in the hot spot. So we are in Indo-Burma. Then further we will look of like if we can go back to the champion and say it, the major forest types of the country, which he describes about 16 classes. So we will look up Northeast India to almost more than 13 major groups are represented in Northeast India, except maybe the extreme dry, what we are calling tropical dry evergreen, or before it. Otherwise, we have the out of 7, at least 5 type of tropical group, major group we have, subtropical to all 3, temperate and alpine. All 3 we have 9, plus their 5, almost 13, 14 groups are here. So these photographs I have brought out, we can see the riverine also, plantation also, or we can call it deciduous forest also in Assam. And then we have the alpine vegetation also. So this was the landscape view of the further, like the reason behind the more diversity is also the here, like other parts of the country, generally be conserved a tree, or trees are planted nearby some sacred areas and all. But here, like the whole forests are being conserved. And that's why if many of you might have visited, I can name 2 sacred groups in Meghalaya named Railyang and Ailong. Even till today means maybe I may go back to 10 years back, because by that time I visited personally. We are not allowed to wear the shoes and all once we are entering inside this forest and all. And there are the many people who worked out their PhD research. Professor Jamir from Nagaland University, Dr. Krishna Upadhyay from Nehu, and they have reported like 500-600 variety of the only plant. They have not gone for the insect diversity or the other animal diversity. Plant diversity they have reported about 500. So is the wealth and the reason to work for. This last photo just I want to show is because there was a road going on, and because of the belief, hardly we will find in any other part. This is Sergaon in Arunachal Pradesh, and is a sacred area. And the society, they have not allowed the road to move further. So is the belief. This rock is conserved for the honey. Honeybees are there in this whole rock. Even in the patches, the honeys are there. And then the wealth, I will just go here. Some of the plant wealth, which my student, I hope Dr. Tasi has brought out, some trees, some shrubs, some herbs in that sacred group, which I have shown earlier. Then Everywhere the challenges we all know, we all the educated society, global warming, change in weather pattern. Now, like even if we will go, let's say few years back, so we are not talking about the forest ET, evapotranspiration in the forest crops. But in the recent few years, if we will go back, we will find that these works started in even in the forest, which was very prevalent to the agriculture sector. But now it is forest. That is only because weather is not only influencing the agricultural crop, they are also severely impacting the tree component also or other plant species also. And I can share that we have fixed some phenochem and under the long-term monitoring of the phenology of some species. And like we are keep on witnessing that many plants, they have changed their phenology, the budding or the leaf flushing or flowering or fruiting period. So particularly budding, if we will look of the flower, then they have reported like they are keep on shifting, not only in weeks, even in a month also they have shifted. That is, as we all know, that the solar radiation is very important for initiating any phenological events in the plants and all, even in the seed germination. So regenerations are also very badly impacted because of the change in the weather pattern also, because we all know like seed may go under the dormancy if they are not getting the sufficient time or sufficient microsite condition to regenerate. Depletion of resources, no need any explanation. Shortage of the food, as I said, that although we are keep on using the fertilizer and our food supplements are keep on increasing, but if we will look off, maybe production has increased, but if we will go with the agricultural diversity, then diversities of the agricultural crops are decreasing, because could be a reason. The government has declared, I think, the national level or maybe the international year of the millets, because millets, which are widely grown in, particularly in most part of the Northeast India, because not only the grain is used, even they prepare some wine also. But now, if you will see, then we can witness that hardly people they are growing this. So anyway, maybe the supplement in one way is we are producing more, but unsustainable way we are going for the loss of biodiversity. We don't know, we don't need explanation. Climate variability, because many of the species which are keep on added in red data book and all, and tomorrow they may be I don't know. Okay, although the biotechnological aspects we are working very hard. We saw one plant in during my research period, ginkgo biloba, in Meghalaya. Department of Biotechnology, they tries very hard to propagate it, but I don't know what is the scenario today. This is the we summarized somewhere in 2005, I hope. Like in schematic diagram, we brought that how like the abiotic biotic interactions are being severely impacted because of the various driving variables like zooming, failing, mining, or the developmental activities and all, and vice versa. Even we can, I am not blaming who I am to blame, but very recently we will see the case of Uttarakhand. This is the developmental activities which the locals they are keep on talking about hydropower. The blame directly goes to developmental activity. So in Meghalaya, this is the situation of Meghalaya, which is dominated by tropical and subtropical forests. So based on the field data and all, in the public perceptions questionnaire based survey and all, and then it says that if these pressures goes on, then we can find, now we can see most part of the Shillong capital nearby. If somebody had visited in 90s, then they can find in valleys and all, there are a lot of mixed forests are there, but now we will get only pine, or maybe there's some scattered trees here and there, and then the weeds are bamboo. Even in some of the dense forest also we are witnessing the bamboo, which is not good indicators, or it may be the barren lands and all. So this is how we try to summarize what is going to happen. This is one literature cited by Dr. Rita Shri, who says that we all agree upon कि land use change has become the indicative power and humankind has started conquering and modifying the ecosystem. The photograph is witnessing. The terrestrial ecosystem dynamics largely depend on exchange between various biogeochemical cycles, which are going to be severely impacted because of this land use change. This doesn't mean that I am saying that this should not be practiced, because we have the witness of the certain part in Kohima also, where people they follow this zooming, but on terraces they put the wood logs and all, and very well managed and all. Erosions are minimized, as well as the nutrients are aided in the terraces and all, and finally the agricultural productions are more. But wherever the scientific and technological or traditional interventions are there is well and good. Otherwise, as we know that soil plays a very important role in production, regeneration, growth, and development, then this land use change implications may lead severe impacts. We also try to work out on the how the carbons are going to be impacted because of this. Then like regular forest inventories, soil inventories, which are sometime even we, the scientific community, also we are discouraging. If someone has studied there, why the another research scholar is carrying out this study, but there is a need, because we can see nowadays the landscape studies are being promoted by the government of India, as well as revisit to the same area is again uh, promoted by the government, so that we can understand that what has happened in on the space, like spatio-temporal, in respect of time. Then, okay. This is another one concept which is growing very rapidly. We are keep on talking. This I thought that Dr. Sangeeta, she worked out in two forests in Assam. And then not only, I just brought one, two slide here. She tried to summarize the various ecosystem services that had been acquired by the community residing in nearby area, directly and indirectly. Further, she has gone for economic evaluation of it also. Somebody can just Google search Deka et al. On economic evaluation of ecosystem services, where the certain like ways has been given by the scientific community we can, like oxygen, how much how we can convert in economics by number of individuals of plants and all. So based on that we can convert it into she says that although she reported 22 in one forest and 24 in another forest, of that, like we know the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, then the data results that 50% services are under the group provisioning, 22% in regulating, and vice versa. Similarly, in other forests also. What are these services that had been given out here? Okay, what is that 22 services, or what is the regulating services out here? So this slide I will share with ma'am, and then anybody if is interested can go in. Then further she says that there are certain positive drivers also, like the way they are managing their land, regeneration, then water services like the maybe the drains that are coming out from the forest and all, and which are like supplying the soil moisture in the form of lateral recharge to the agricultural field, that are being improved, because the most of the water requirement of the society is being filled by the PHE department or the cultural services in form of tourism. However, further she concludes that there are certain negative drivers also, which we all know: over extraction. She found that certain chemical poisoning, maybe for the fishes and all they are doing, or like these areas we can get many time, elephants are also given poison, uh, maybe because of whatever reasons. Because I am here and they are working very good in community. Maybe after a decades, that two forest patches where Dr. Deka has worked upon, maybe the regeneration and other condition, in particular an adjoining area in general, is going to be improved very rapidly. Because many time I have seen that they are keep on posting, okay, if something has happened to particularly the uh, animals, and then they reports to the concerned authority. Then, like atmospheric contamination, loss in vegetation or carbon capacity, or the decline in predators, because pollination and dispersal can be like severely impacted if the population will decline of the predator. Or electromagnetic radiations is another one, uh, another reason, because of which maybe many birds and all they are impacted. And then the illegal forest clearance, eutrophication, or death of older organisms, so on so forth. As like I was saying that we might have seen many places like the carbon levels are increasing, greenhouse gases are enhancing. Therefore, we are agreeing that there is a climate change. Like this, we can get lot of literatures which uh, results that change in temperature pattern and all. And in Northeast India also, we will look off, as I was saying, Professor Jhajaria, they have worked and they says that there is a increase in temperature. They have worked on the different meteorological stations in Northeast India, uh, and then they like out of uh, like number of meteorological stations taken in consideration, which site reports what. Uh, that had been summarized out here, where they found that zero point 0.1 to zero point 0.2 degree temperature in minimum and maximum temperatures of these uh, is keep on increasing. Another study was conducted by Jan, and then they have done the trend analysis. Again, they says that the seasonal and annual scale results that rainfall during the monsoon season has the least scattered among the seasons. Annual rainfall also does not show much variability except rainfall in winter and post-monsoon season. Because as I was keep on saying, not only the physiography, even further Bay of Bengal is there to be received the monsoon from this side or from Arabian seaside and all. Not much evidences are out there, but still, if in these given conditions, if we are going to be not concerned today, tomorrow maybe late, and that's why the awareness are being generated in the form of certain deliberations made, like the seed is taking in on the occasion of the Earth Day. We all know temperature, precipitation, and the constituents of the atmosphere, variability, and extreme conditions in general, climate, uh, alterations or changes may the one who can be impacted will be the forest also, agriculture also, biodiversity also, water also, and human also. The even the biodiversity can take care of the plant and animal both. So all are going to be impacted. I'm just uh, who are although we are very resourceful, but if we will see that particularly in rural areas and all, the community's livelihood is directly associated with the resources that are present out there. So the one who are dependent on this, like poor omens, shifting cultivators, anti-appease collector, people living in flood-prone areas, livestock keepers, mountain and hill people, artisans, herbal practitioner. Uh, the herbal practitioner, like recently we will find in last 2 decades, lot of the government emphasis are out there to maintain the traditional knowledges, because let's see, some plants are there in zero that the leaf or the I hope whole plant they are using, I cannot name, but I have come across with the plant that they are preparing the salt. But if that remains undocumented, then tomorrow people may forget about this. Similarly, the traditional knowledge is associated with the herbals practitioner, which are orally transferred from one to another. But as the we are moving towards the advancement, we are also losing the interest on this. Even see the situations of artisans also. We can get here lot of artisans are there, and they are preparing a very good, maybe the marketability is another one reason because of which they are not getting sufficient revenue. So we can look up, but anyway, under these changing scenario are the availability of bioresources in future. All those whose dependency are on these resources, they are going to particularly severely impacted. Northeast India, as I'm talking about the opportunities, then some says that very high cultural diversity, social value, high diversity, forest wealth we have. We have lot of community forest because most of the lands in Northeast India belongs to community. Traditional knowledges we are rich. Uh, Healthcare system, some part we are good, but some part is still it needs a lot of improvement. High agricultural diversity, um, although most part may not face the water crisis, but many parts they are facing. Uh, So, so rich we are, we have a very high potential. Either is Ministry of Agriculture or Forest or Water or Road. Everybody's requirement is out here. They can come together and they can work for the development of the Northeast India. And now through NEC, a lot of development in recent past has taken place in Northeast India. But at the same time, we have the problem also. As I said, that we have infrastructure to some, but some more needs to be done in the healthcare sector, or sometimes the shift in the government policies or whole government even, because the most part of the Northeast India they are doing in organic way of farming. Hardly they use the chemicals in, is particularly in the hilly areas and all, even in pest also. All maybe because of the reason. Although the products are very healthy, but on production point of view, it may be less. Assam might be the better production of the, let's say, the potato or so. Poor network of meteorological station, like we are keep on saying that the climate change and climate change. If I have to cite for the state of Mizoram, although the ISRO, they says that, or the Ministry of Agriculture, they says that they have established all KBKs with the meteorological stations, especially the automatic weather stations. But we all know what is the situation out here. As far as IMD is concerned, there is no meteorological station in the Mizoram. To the best of my knowledge, we take the data from the Silchar, which is again plain area. That scenario cannot be implemented, or policies cannot be made based on this. So we relies on the automatic weather stations data, which sometimes may not be sufficient to see the, or like the one who are doing the modeling cannot do the modeling and future like recommendations has certain limitations. I mean, we have a lot of opportunities in developing the varieties, traditional knowledges, involving traditional institutions, and then the promoting healthcare as well as the collaborative R&D activities. So nowadays we will find that a lot of like collaborative uh, activities are going on. Anyway, we have to work for it. Now, it is. I will just go quickly. I will just show that how the land use changes has resulted certain uh, change in the soil properties, diversities, and then the carbon. Then a study, let's say, was done in the, we can say that the eastern Arunachal Himalaya. In certain districts were selected in it, and with the aim to look up the implications of land use change on the soil, plant, and then the carbon. So these are the landscape of that area. This the I will not read the plant diversity of the area where this study was done. We can see that subtropical supports the very high richness. Every literature we will get, because the tropical, if is falling under the deciduous, or if we are other than the evergreen and all, which is very limited, then if we will look of then the again the trees, shrubs, and all, and then this is how the soil, which most part of the area it has the loamy sand or sandy loam, except in some agricultural fields and all, where the sand proportions are going to be slightly higher, and vice versa the water holding capacity and all. So that varies from the vulnerability index has been calculated by looking up the potential carbon mineralization and SOC content in that area and all, which we do agree that is going to vary from a land use to another land use. But this has been worked out, because to understand that, to what will be the implications on if we have to look for the carbon stock and all. Keep suppose the forest is converted into jhum land, then how much there will be loss? Or agriculture field in due course of time had been converted into the forest, then what is going to happen? Our forest is going to be changed into the let's say plantation, or plantation to forest, vice versa. Then increase in carbon accumulation rate was observed once the agricultural lands were converted to, quite natural, because maybe the carbon stock for certain seasonal point of view it may be very high, but overall carbon stock is going to be less, because most part of the year it will remain deficient in carbon. So overall stock will be less, as well as the loss of the carbon also in the form of uptake. Uptake, so lot of will come in the soil to the plant, and again if we are going to use this as an fodder, the plant part and all, then again the addition of the carbon in the soil is going to be low. This is the different landscape because and then we use certain model, particularly a one model, and this we have used for the entire Northeast India, but here just I am showing for this, where Professor Asa Gupta is one of the author. Okay, we worked for the how the we can develop the specific certain plan. We have given the allometric equations which can be applied in Northeast India, which can give the better result on the carbon uh, stock or pool or the sequestration studies. In another, we worked on the diversity, and another three of the like we joint projects we have, and one we did on the carbon distribution in the Northeast India, and it is available in the frontiers of environmental science, forest, and then the environmental science and some uh, which can be searched of. So this is the carbon scenario in this study area which I have. And then with this, I will just show that like looking up the potential, I just brought some work that we did. We map the land use change implications on carbon stock of subtropical forest, which can be easily assessed by all of us. Then biomass, carbon stock, and soil physicochemical properties. In plantations, we worked. We worked on the carbon stock and pool assessment in tropical and subtropical bamboos. Uh, Dr. L.B. Singha is working very well in the bamboos. So we work something on bamboos also. We tries to even we work for the water holding capacity and carbon mapping also. We have developed certain equations which we can use, published in I think agriculture science. Uh, okay, we can by that equation we can model the what will be the carbon in the soil or what will be the water holding capacity. Similarly, we mapped for the soil erosion also in certain district of Arunachal Pradesh. Uh, so soil, water, basically I'm not doing much. Very recently we started working on the wetlands. So two of our scholars, they are working on the water aspects also. Maybe the certain wetlands and springs also. Then we have a program on the human dimensions, enhancement of the human dimensions in water bodies area and its impact, and by ISRO. In there, Dr. Behra from IIT Kharagpur, who was looking after the Mahanadi, and we are looking after the Brahmaputra river basin, and then this has come up a resultant of this. Similarly, the ISRO has prepared where we are part. Okay, Professor Rai, P.S. Roy, founder who has done tremendous work in land use, land cover mapping. So, to the national label study has been worked out. So one is like this, and one more was there. So Roy et al. Can be seen in to look up the land use and the decadal change in the land use pattern of the country. So like that too work has. Other than this, we are keep on working in lot of to our label best on the diversity, soil properties, how it changes, carbon mapping, vice versa and vice versa. With this, I will just conclude it. Okay. From my side, this is all. Once again, I am very much thankful to the seed for giving me this opportunity to talk on this very uh, important day, Earth Day. I will be happy if we can have some discussion.
Yes, Professor Tripathi.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Wonderful lecture, wonderful. Really,
Thank you very much, sir.
you were wonderful because I enjoyed. Because I used to say the Northeast is the lungs of entire India.
Sure.
So that is not new, but we are everything seen as biodiversity is really a problem for us. And the natural setting is getting disrupted because of our extraordinary exploitation work. They are in the name of development that is going on. It is not required because once we really, the traditional practices are also very much important for us. And we should not compare ourselves with America with respect to comfort, but definitely yes, with respect to adequate food, adequate education, and adequate health is very, very important for us. Healthy countries. One thing I was just surprised in the Mizoram, they don't have any mythological things by IIT. It's really surprising for me. I was just uh, have a talk with the IMD Delhi so that they can really establish a station because the IMD nowadays don't take it otherwise. I will take one minute because the government data is always reliable and the researchers data is reliable very much for the otherwise, the data generated by the young scientists nowadays through some computer or through some sensor system, it is all indicative values. And these data cannot be used for prediction purposes and taking people into confidence. Just I am giving you one example. 2 days back, I was in Calcutta, and where I found that on the 15th of April, because the first 14th was the Paida Boishakh, the first of Bulgari New Year's Day, and the caption in the first fortnight in Times of India, it was reported hottest Paida Boishakh in 7 years. That means you have the experience of higher temperature on these days also. But the thing is that people are not understanding. Summer is summer, and we cannot compare the summer with the winter. And whenever there is a winter, we start hearing cries. In summer also we hear cries. I understand. I still remember in 70s also when I was a student of the government high school. My sister used to stay in Kolkata, and she used to write that even at the morning 9 o'clock, the roads people are not there on the road. So summer is starting new. So the thing is that, but the radiation heat that is due to creation of concrete structure is increasing. There is no doubt about it. The radiated heat is increasing. The ambient temperature is not increasing. Because that type of India was speaking that the ambient temperature was 39 degrees centigrade. While some private institutions, they are reporting 43 degrees centigrade or 44 degrees centigrade, and the feeling is 54 degrees centigrade. What does it mean? It means that the Times of India people are also encouraging the private people who don't know how to data is generated and which temperature, which methodology is required to carry out. And another aspect, the feeling, what does it feel? Your feeling will be different, my feeling will be different, the feeling for a child will be different. Just to create panic in the society, this is required to be stopped. We should believe on the government data, we should have the capacity to believe on the research data. Other data, whatever is coming in the show for our daily life is really ridiculous and really creating panic in the society. Sorry, I have taken much time. I have a lot of things to discuss with you at the later stage. If I am coming to the office, I will definitely come to you in the university. Thank you so much, sir. Happy art with you all.
Professor Tripathi, your comment?
No, I was not asked something.
Okay, fine. Then we can
sir
take question from Professor Tiwari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sir was
thank you.
saying that there are the data available and there are data's variations, and we must work upon it.
Sir, I think you know him, Professor Saha, Dr.
Uh,
Saha,
Maybe,
Dr. Dipankar Saha.
maybe, ma'am.
Joint Director, I mean Central Pollution Control Board.
Oh, okay. We will meet here, ma'am, sometime.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sir.
Professor
Tiwari,
Tiwari.
sir.
Professor Tiwari.
Very nice presentation. You have mentioned carbon footprint, sacred forest of Meghalaya. I have also visited sacred forest of Meghalaya. You have mentioned wetland. You have mentioned about the sacred forest rather than the food security and healthcare. You have always saying about the plants or higher plants. My view is that in India, wetland is, we are losing wetland and America is conserving wetland. So we should emphasize on wetland to conserve wetland. Second point, we people always say forest, tree. We have never mentioned about the eukaryotic plants, particularly algal biodiversity or algal diversity. So we should, and you are saying the earth means soil, air and water. That is earth. So we should love nature, love Mother Earth, but we should emphasize on the lower plants, particularly cyanobacteria, bacteria, and viruses. So in place of we should use biofertilizer, particularly the cyanobacteria is very useful. So when you are showing plants, plants means what? Not only air plants, it means lower plants, particularly microscopic plants also. That is plant. I have visited Lothagli. So we should, I am thankful to Dr. Asa Gupta that he has helped me a lot during the study of Lothagli. So never miss that algae or the lower plants is also a plant. You are always mentioning. I have visited. It is very good thing that the Meghalaya is conserving sacred forest. Sacred forest mental. So different part of the forest northeast, not only in northeast, but in the Uttaranchal, in the Jharkhand, in the Odisha, there should be a sacred forest. So no development at the cost of ecosystem. So you please always mention that lower plant is also plant. You know, spirulina, which is used in a space as a food capsule. So,
may I, sir?
In Hindi there is a proverb, देखन में छोटन लगे घाव करे गंभीर.
Sir.
Okay. So you should.
Sir, one thing just I would like to highlight, that's why the Professor Tripathi has told that the collectiveness in the research is very much important. Until and unless we go for in a collective way.
Thank you very much.
Until and unless go in a collective way. The consortium is required to be created with all experts so that we can have a better picture. That is important. He is not trying to ignore your small plants. We all are aware that the microplants are also plants, but the problem is the expertise. The problem is the faculties. Problem is the infrastructure. That's why what I would like to say, let us create a consortium of knowledge, infrastructure, faculty and facilities for a complete research work in the north of India. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ma'am, just I will take 1 minute.
Yeah.
I'm very much thankful to Sir Tiwari and Sir Saha. Actually, this has escaped only because, sir, without any intention, my limitation of knowledge other than the plant, soil and all. And in plant, higher angiosperms. This shows, sir, your affection. How come it was missed the lower plants? So that is my limitation of knowledge in the lower plant. I do agree.
Eukaryotic plants. You are always talking about eukaryotes. We people, not only you, sir.
and sir, as far as wetland is concerned, sir, as I said
Yeah,
that key, not only even if we can see the government policy nowadays, a lot of schemes are going on in rejuvenation and revival. So
that I know, sir. I have worked on wetland, but in India we are losing wetland. I have visited the USA. They are conserving wetland. I have seen in USA the wetland, and I have seen
sir, we are late, sir. We have to just wait for
we are in
certain
that
period
now.
of time. Definitely, our
Our batting is
determination
over.
will result,
Our
sir.
batting is over, sir. You people have to think.
Yes, sir.
I am
So,
75 years young only.
sir,
I am
sir,
75 years young. You people
sir,
are very young.
your
I am
guide,
not old.
hmm,
I am 75 years young.
sir,
So you should emphasis on lower plant
sir.
and wetland too. Thank you
Yes,
very much for nice
Thank
question.
you. Thank you,
thank you,
sir.
Thank
sir.
you, madam.
Any more question to Professor Tripathi, our learned speaker? Any more questions from the participants? Professor Bhattacharya ji there. I think, if not question, just I wanted some comments, sir. Professor
No, it's
Kashinath
it's a
Bhattacharya
nice.
ji.
No, it's a nice, Asha ji. Prakash ji, he has delivered
Namaste,
very
sir. I
nicely.
could not see
Namaste,
you,
namaste,
sir.
namaste. So you have delivered nicely, and I know the limitation. What my Dada M.G. Tiwari ji asked that he is always asking everywhere. He is asking the same question. What's about the cyanobacteria? Because he has done a lot of works on the cyanobacteria. That's why see he has some keen interest on the cyanobacteria. But we should keep in mind that it is a vast that plant. There is a vast groups of plants. It is difficult for a particular person to cover all the plants. So that's why Prakash ji, whatever he told that he is only concerned. He has been concentrated on the angiosperm only. So angiosperm, he may get some results. So other people may come and may work on the cyanobacteria. So that in future we may expect some more data, some more fruitful results. So thanks to Prakash ji for your nice
Thank you,
lecture.
sir. Nice to
Uh,
see you, sir. And
no,
we
no,
will be meeting very soon, sir.
आशा जी मेरे बहुत पुराने मित्र है और
Sir.
मेरे दादा तो एमजी तिवारी तो मेरे दादा के सब कुछ है मेरा तो I was delighted to when Asha ji sent me your lecture. I was delighted. I told that I must attend this lecture because the Tiwari ji must be there. So it is very nice place to meet everybody. Thank you, Prakash ji, for your nice lecture.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you. Thank you.
thank you all,
Thank
sir.
you, Dr. Tripathi.
सब लोगों को
Thank
Okay,
you,
ma'am.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Thank
Now, whether from other participants, any more question? Otherwise, I can give then my speech. Any more question? Okay. So I congratulate Professor Tripathi for his very nice deliberations. He talked a lot about the challenges in Northeast India, the water problem, the how it is so much rain, still the water drinking water problem is there, the accessibility, the availability problem, the indigenous, the invasive species, the diversity in forests, in sacred groves, the beauty which we have got in groves and how they are protected. A number of issues he has talked. Even he talked about how the women they are to be involved, the herbal practitioners, the medicinal knowledge, the indigenous knowledge, how it is important. A lot. I mean, giving a sum up of his vision and the work also which he has carried on in these years and his team of students. We were lucky that we also worked together in some project, and then we know that he's a very hardworking person, and then to the last effort, he does not give up. He always works. So with this praise and appreciation, I congratulate you, Professor Tripathi. Now,
Thank you, ma'am.
because we have taken up land use, so just let me talk something about it. We know that our beautiful Mother Earth is the only planet which is livable, and then the resources which we are utilizing, the way we are utilizing, they are limited, they are overexploited, and then we have to keep the promise to the future generations that the things will be available to them. We are seeing the resources are stressed, whether water, whether soil, whether diversity of plants, animals, microbes, etc. They are all targeted because of our crazy nature, because of our demands and needs which are growing. Now, Professor Tripathi has rightly pointed out that now we have become the first populous country in the world, and China is behind us. It becomes the second. So with this, then you see that how much problems we have to face with our developing economy, and with all those resources, how we are going to help each one of us, feed each one of us, and do that the life will be suitable place for all of us. So these are all challenges. So here I start with Paris Agreement, which set a target of keeping the average global average temperature, to limit that increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. And we should keep it well below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial level. However, Sir has, Tripathi ji has talked about climate model, and here I also, when we have studied and we have seen, we found that climate model, they suggest that current atmosphere greenhouse gas concentration, it is already very near to that which is the achieving the stable climate of 1.5 degrees Celsius. And therefore, it is very much essential that in near future, the emission reductions, they are needed, and these are needed in combination with greenhouse gas removal from the atmosphere, and so that we can achieve this lower temperature goal. When we have to achieve this 2 degrees Celsius target, that means it should be below 2 degrees Celsius increase above the pre-industrial level, then we require a lot of transformational changes. And these changes, they require in the energy sector. He has talked a lot about energy sector, industrial activity, land management, what is needed, what is required. So the efficiency of production is to be increased, but the land use shifting, that is also to be taken into mind, that the negative emissions should not be there. So, what is needed for this? The studies have been done, and then it is seen that if we limit the global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius by 2100, if this is our aim, then we require very significant land use change to support carbon dioxide removal. It should be done on a large scale from atmosphere. That can be done by afforestation, reforestation, avoided deforestation, and biomass energy with carbon capture and storage. Here the lower plants, which Sir has said, Tiwari sir, they may be also very important. Now here the more ambitious this scenario, they require greater land area, because if we talk of the plantation and energy plantations and more forestation, then we want greater land area for mitigation and earlier adoption of these carbon dioxide removal strategies. Now, from where the additional land will come? The land is finite, and then when you are changing from one land use to other, the other is stress. So that we have seen all the time. When the forest is converted to other land uses like agriculture for food production, then naturally the our sink capacity is affected. The more carbon emission is there. So in this way, the challenge is huge, and therefore it can be the offset which is there. It can be, I mean, the losses, they can be offset if we have got the proper management in this land use system management. So, what we have done now, that we have converted the high carbon content ecosystems with crops, which are low carbon storage systems. So, therefore, the need is that forest based systems, they can be more efficient for atmospheric carbon dioxide removal. Government has already asked, different governments have already asked the IPCC, the international body, that to assess the feasibility, if the stabilizing climate change at 1.5 degrees Celsius, it can be stable, and then what may be the benefits if we keep it by 1.5 degrees Celsius, and how to make it stable so that in future, in 2015 or 2100, I mean, it may remain like that or near that, and it will not increase. Otherwise, again, the same problems will come. So studies, they have estimated that the greenhouse gas removal emission, it is equivalent to 0.6 to 2 gigaton carbon per year. This is based on the potential what we are doing: afforestation, reforestation, forest-based plantation, etc., and the natural forest management. But at the same time, food production is needed. Every mouth has to be fed properly. And for the global population, this is the agriculture, the food production, it is the major dominant driver of global land use chain. And therefore, for example, the global energy crops are there. They will be expanding from 2030 to 50, and it will require a land area of about 550 million hectare. If this land area can be shrunk, if it can be diverted, then it can be liberated for reforestation, then that change which challenge which we have to meet, that 1.5 degrees Celsius should be kept, that can be met. But at the same time, a lot of challenges are there. That is better efficient crops, better food production, lot of technologies, newer technologies which should be merged with that. Then, for example, from the pasture land also, better milk production, better ruminant production, it should be done. And then, if, for example, it requires some change in culture and our behavior also. Those who are consuming meat, if the ruminant meat production, it can be reduced by 30%, consumption can be reduced by 30%, then in it, some more about 50% of land, it can be shifted from pasture to what to say, forestation side, and it will close the gap which will be giving by the emission. So in this way, at the same time, reforestation and peatland restoration, wetland restoration, they will be necessary, because we are having from this sector, agricultural sector, 4 gigaton per year of emission, and this can be met only if about 800 million hectare of land, it can be diverted in future from changing to agriculture, forest land converting to agriculture, it may be kept as forest. If it can be done, then we can meet that Paris agreement, that 1.5 degrees Celsius warming, which should be made, and then we should not exceed it. That it will be it is possible to meet that challenge. So there is a need to have large quantities of land to offset other sources of emission. At the same time, we are having a lot of wastage when there is production. At the production, and a lot of wastage is there. If we reduce this production also by 50%, then this 4 gigaton of emission per year, which we are getting from agriculture, it can be curbed for many more years to come. So in this way, it depends upon what type of policies government will take, what type of in we human being, we the what to say, very intelligent animal, in what way we are changing our behavior, and how we are shifting, our food habits in such a way that some other non-conventional food can also be taken. Like, for example, sir has said, Tripathi ji has said that this millet year, and then lot of importance is given to millets, because they act as food supplement, and even people said that it is better to avoid that rice and wheat in the old age like us, for example, and then better to switch on to these multi-grain and other things which are available. So if we talk of India, we have taken afforestation of 10 million hectares, and also the focus is there from non-degraded degraded forest land, from non-forest cover also, like mangroves and other wetland, etc. And here the investment is about $518 per hectare, whereas mitigation potential is 1.1 ton carbon per hectare per year. Mitigation cost, if we calculate for 30 years, then it comes to $15.7 per hectare per year, providing job to about 3 million households in that area where this mission may be taken of afforestation. Similarly, when we are talking of agriculture, we need better varieties of crop which can withstand extreme weather. There should be convergency of integration and traditional knowledge and practice systems. We have to couple the nature-based solution with engineered options like flood control channels, help reduce water-related risk in cities. Then better technologies such as more resilient crop varieties, improved livestock breeding, solar wind power, they can also help strengthen the resilience. So we want minimum tillage, organic farming, rainwater harvesting. Sir has already pointed out rainwater conservation has to be done. Then capacity building of farmers, other stakeholders, production of biofertilizers. Sir has also said, Tripathi ji, and there the lower plant they may be involved to a great extent. The compost, the strengthening of national agricultural insurance scheme. This is needed. At the same time, we talk of climate smart agriculture, so as to increase the agricultural productivity and income. So thus, we have to have very wise, prudent in the land use management. We have to develop climate ready crops. We have to have crop diversification. We should have improved pest management. We should harness indigenous knowledge, technical knowledge, and ensure and forecast systems. They should be strengthened. He has rightly pointed out that the how Northeast India is facing the water scarcity in the lean season, and we India ranks India gets 4% of global precipitation. We are 133 in India in the world as far as the water availability per person is concerned. And but by 25, it is said that large part of India they will be absolutely water scarce. So therefore, whole river basin approach is needed, which will be giving the holistic and sustainable planning for our water resources and ensure also the food security at the same time. So conservation, management and development of water, land and related resources across the different sectors along the river basin, they should be given priority. Gender is very important because we know women are responsible for fetching water, for bringing water, for keeping it clean, and for supply of it. So, therefore, gender is specific and gender based strategy must be central focus of planning and implementation. Along with it, the community driven development approaches should be there. There should be participatory budgeting as well as planning. So the main objective should be the conservation of water, minimizing wastage, ensuring it more equitable distribution across and within the state, and integrated water resource development and management. And this will improve the efficiency of water use by 20%. So we have this planet only to live, and this is Earth Day. We have to take stock of our action. We have to invest in our planet. Invest not only by financially, but also by financial means, but also by knowledge, because knowledge is the engine which will drive us and our progress in future. So we need a vibrant and dynamic knowledge system that would inform and support national action for responding effectively to the objective of ecologically sustainable development. So the resources should be available for future. We have not to be greedy, and but we have to be more knowledgeable. Better technologies are still awaiting. They are to be worked out. And this is the message to all the young participants that you work in the direction in future so that our Mother Earth will remain healthy. With these words, I thank you all and pass on to Dr. Biteswari for further proceeding. Dr. Biteswari.
A very good evening to all. It is my great opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this Earth Day. On behalf of the entire seat, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our speaker, Professor Om Prakash Tripathi, who has spared his valuable time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion and enlighten all of us. Thank you so much, sir. Sir has talked about increasing temperature over northeast region, roof mounted tanks to catch rainwater, distribution pattern of biodiversity on the earth, degraded forest communities, etc. I would like to express my deep regard to Professor Asad Gupta for being a constant support, motivation, and guiding us for making this webinar a grand success. Thank you so much, Madam Asaji. I would like to thank Madam Mirna Mai RK, Executive Member of SEAT, who has enlightened us about the theme of Earth Day. I would also like to thank Dr. Ranita Ningthong Executive Member of SEAT, who has taken the initiative in introducing our chief guest to the audience. I would also like to thank SEAT members for your constant support to make this program a meaningful and a grand success. I extend my sincere thanks and appreciation goes to Professor M.G. Tiwari, Professor Kashinath Bhattacharya, Professor Vidyanath Jha, Dr. Dipankar Saha, for your kind cooperation and patient hearing till the end, and also making the webinar a grand success. My deep sense of thanks to all the esteemed participants with great enthusiasm and making today's program a successful one. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Sir Nahakpam Sanjoy for his technical support in making this day a wonderful and successful one. I would also like to thank each and every one of you for being here in this platform and making this webinar a very successful one. Now I take the permission from convener and president of SEED to declare today's webinar as closed. I request all the participants to fill up the feedback form so as to avail the certificate of today's webinar.